Wait, can you hear me now? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You good?
I think it walking out of my house, it disconnects from the Wi-Fi. So
Hmm.
that's a whole thing. But
Yeah.
oh dang. Okay. That's a lot of money. Um yeah, but that's something else right there. You know, having a cultural aspect to something is huge. But it's definitely something that should be considered because oftentimes culture plays a huge part in stuff like that.
It does.
It does.
Well, and you want to be sensitive to people's cultures. Like, I don't want to put my own culture on you, and I don't
Facts.
want, like, and I don't want to, like, or my expectations or, like, those types of things. Like, I don't need to put that on you. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm also, like, think, like, it could be a cultural thing. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll just you'll leave it alone. It's not, like, that big of a deal. I mean, it's hard sometimes,
Yeah.
but, it's only for a moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And this is typically it's an understanding or misunderstanding, you know what I'm saying, that goes with it. That ultimately is the reason why there needs to be a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Communication. That's typically what it is, you know.
Mhm.
Especially if you mean no ill will towards that person, communication typically fixes it.
Yeah, and it's one communicating with a sense of understanding and sensitivity,
Yep.
and sensitivity to their culture, sensitivity to like them
Yep.
as a person, because
Yeah.
like just
Mhm.
trying to invoke your own beliefs on them.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's good. I'm glad you have that perspective. Um, Thank you for even sharing that, because that sharing that perspective, because I didn't even understand that culture aspect that you mentioned, but now I see what you're saying. See, her being from Africa, stuff like that, and not saying that everybody from Africa smells like that or is like that, or
Oh,
but yeah, just I get that for sure.
yeah, it's just a different, yeah.
Exactly. So,
But
what you say?
I was gonna say, but it's also like it's not something that like it wasn't just like me that brought it up,
Yeah,
brought up by I think my trainer first really noticed it, and he's like, I
yeah,
don't want to say nothing because I'm a man.
yeah, mm, yeah.
um so
That makes sense.
um so he's like, you ladies got it.
You ladies got it. Yeah,
Kind of thing.
yeah. I'll be just like I would say the same thing. Yeah,
But and then for me being a different, you know having a different cultural background, different like, race in general, like I'm like, I also don't really want to like broach the subject
yeah,
because I don't want it to come across as insensitive or like rude or like, you know.
yeah. No, I get it. I get it.
So, but we did all like, we did all come together, like, because we all know each other too. Like we all know each other a lot longer. She's like newer and doesn't come all the time,
Yeah,
like comes every so often. So it's still hard for us to like say something because we don't know her that well.
yeah,
Like, because like just as a group, we're just like, if I ever smell bad, please tell me. Like, if I ever smell like that, please tell me. Because I don't always know. Because, yeah, you're gonna have a scent after you work out.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
Happen. Like, you sweat. That is normal.
Yeah, you can smell like strawberries and ice cream. Yeah, nah.
But, but like, if it's like really musky, like,
Hmm.
I don't know, there's just like a potent, like,
Yeah. No, we know what you're talking about. I get you. Trust me, we get what you're talking about. For sure.
like, just like,
You ain't gotta go into no detail with that. Uh-uh. But we get you. I get you. I get it.
I
I'm
felt
just
it.
Yeah, I'm glad y'all had that conversation.
We
I'm
did.
glad.
We talked
Yeah,
amongst each other, and we have decided that we will tell each other.
that's what's up. That's what's up. That's how you do it.
That's
All right,
it.
let's hop into this mental health.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Now, I do want to. I got a few questions just off of the rip of like something I've experienced just this past week.
Hmm.
Um, and just like more so in the perspective of not necessarily me dealing with this mental health situation, but more so friends, people that I know dealing with it. And I
Hmm.
wanted to get your perspective on it. Um, and just in how you handle it. But I'm curious to know how you deal with friends. Oh wow. How you deal with uh, this is six. How you deal with people that how can I put this? People that people that you may know that are struggling with depression, um, and they're kind of telling you that they're falling into it or they're feeling like they're falling into it. How do you comfort friends and how do you deal with situations like that when people come to you and they express to you that they're going under? Not necessarily suicidal, not necessarily they're gonna harm themselves, but more so in the perspective of like, I feel like I'm getting it, I'm sinking into that dark space. That's kind of what one of the people that I know said. I feel like I'm sinking into, I feel like I'm falling into that hole. How do
Yeah.
you, yeah, I'm curious to know.
No, I understand that. I mean, I'm very
Hmm.
close. I've also like, I have had a friends that have told me that before.
Yeah.
Um, what I like try to tell them is just like, hey, I'm here for you.
Mm.
If you need me, I
Yeah.
can like just hang out. Like, I can just sit with you. Like,
Yeah.
basically, like, we can do
Mm.
something fun if you want to. Like, I can come to you. Like, actually, that's what I've done before too.
Mm.
Then,
Mm.
like, I mean, I ask them first. Obviously, I don't just like, I make sure that that's something like, but I'm like, hey, I know for myself when I'm in these spaces. First of all, thank you for reaching out because
Yeah.
that's hard in and of itself. Like when
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
I know for myself when I've been in those dark places before, like not even like in like not even like the suicidal, just like really deep depression. Like
Yeah.
sometimes you don't want like you're like you don't even want to call somebody. Like you're
Wow.
just
Yeah.
want to like I just you just don't have the energy or like the capacity to do it, or you just feel
Yeah.
like in some cases you feel like you might be a burden on them too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're just like, I'm just gonna wallow in it. And
Yep.
I've done it before. And so like for me, it's like I have told myself in some cases, like if I know I'm really in a deep spiral, I'm like, you have to try to reach out.
Mm.
Have to try to reach out. Like, and
Yeah.
I force myself to do that. So like
Yeah.
at least they know. So if anything, they can at least pray for me. Like I'm not asking them to do much, but if anything, they can at least pray or like something like that.
Yeah.
Like it's just so that somebody knows where I'm at, so that maybe they can check in on me. Like I've,
Mm. You've done this personally.
I've done this personally. Yeah.
Wow.
And it's not like putting the burden on them, but it's like I know that like when I haven't like reached out,
Mm.
like you can just get really, really deep. And then when you finally
Mm.
when you do reach out, like it's like slightly better, especially if they respond in a way that's like, hey, like I care about you, like like that kind of thing. And it's
Yeah.
like I want you to be okay.
Yeah.
Um, what can I do? How can I help you? Let's pray about it. Like I have really great friends who pray with me and
Yeah.
stuff. That's great. Um, and I think so like when they've reached out to me, like it reminds me to also reach out to them when I need it. But like when they've reached out to me, it's like one of my friends, I was like, I know she's introverted like I am, like where she's
Yeah.
kind of a homebody. And so like I was like, hey, do you mind if I come over We could watch a movie. Um, like I can bring snacks. You know,
Mm,
we can order in, and just like chill out. We could even do a puzzle or like, just something like that. Just hang out. We can just talk. We can not
yeah.
talk, sit around, like, just let me be with you, in this moment. And
Wow.
he was like, that sounds great, So we did that. Um, and I think like just also checking up. Like if you can't do that, just simply like checking up on them like every so often to be
Yeah.
like feeling now, like how are you feeling today? Um, any better? I'm praying for you and really be praying for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe send them an encouraging message, like something that you like about them,
Yeah.
something that reminded you of them. Um, just little things. It's just little things I think that can make a big difference. Like that's what I think.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Um, I do love everything you said. And I think it's everything that you said, I stand behind 110%, in terms of it being something that, a way to aid in someone suffering in that way. Um, and it's interesting because I've noticed, you know, you notice rather, there being an uncontrollable level of grief and suffering that kind of is happening for this person. It's like they really are reaching out because they can't control it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like it's almost like a desperate plea. And for some of them, they don't uh ask for the help, you know? They don't
Mhm.
you just have to kind of you have to kind of pry. I don't know if
Yeah.
you've ever had to do that, but it's kind of like you kind of have to go, "Hey, let's you know, what's going on?"
Yeah, sometimes you do. I mean, I know like I've been on that end of it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like I was like that person
Brian.
keeping it. No, I was keeping it in so much.
Yeah.
Somebody eventually just had to pry
I had
it
to pry.
out. They had to be like,
Wow.
what's going on,
Yeah.
and some of that is just because of like, not wanting to feel like a burden to them.
Yeah. Hmm.
And some of it is just like, I don't know. Yeah, mostly it's the burden thing.
The
Um,
burden. Yeah.
like you don't want to be a burden on someone else.
Yeah.
But but I guess I've done similar things like where I
Yeah.
can kind of pry or like
Appreciate it, man.
you do your best to, but there are
Yeah.
some times you can't because of situations like they maybe can't talk
Yeah.
because like people around them or they want a chance to get away at a moment so they can't really
Excuse
talk
me.
for
Look,
real.
a pickup order. Did I pick it up here? Is it real? Okay. I'm sorry, Chris. I heard you. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I was trying to be a better, but yeah, I agree. I completely agree. Um, I think it's definitely, um, that level of, yeah, just trying to, you know, understand, um, where they're coming from. And even to the point, like you said, of crying, like if that has to happen, then it's a level of like, hey, this is happening because I love you. This is happening because I care about you. Not
Mhm.
necessarily because you kind of be nosy or, anything of that nature. Um, yeah, yeah, I think that's
Yeah, I think like even like when you're crying, it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
in a way that's like you don't have to tell me everything that's going on. But
yeah, exactly.
it's like you can say, I see that there's something going on. Like I can see that there's something going on, and I just want you to know I see you. Um,
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
and I'm here for you. I think like just even saying like I see you,
Yeah,
um, like I don't know what's happening. And like sometimes I've said this too. It's like I don't
thank
know
you.
what's going on, and you
Yeah,
don't. tell me, like you can tell me if you want to. I'm
Yeah.
here. Like basically, I just leave the door open. It's like I'm here for you if you
Uh,
but just know that I see that there's something going on.
yeah.
I can tell that you're hurting. I can tell that there's something heavy on you.
Yeah.
So just know I'm here for you. And if
Mm,
you want to talk, like my door's open. Like,
yeah.
please do this. Like, I've told some of my friends, like, I'm like, you can legitimately call me anytime.
Anytime. Mm,
And like, if I don't answer, it's
yeah.
not because, like maybe I was busy or whatever, but I will call you back.
Yeah.
It's like I will, like, or like text me. I'll
Yeah.
text, like, you know,
Hmm.
like, the communication line is always open for me,
Yeah. Hmm.
but it doesn't um, but don't think that I don't care if I don't respond or don't answer right away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Right.
But I'll try to, like, if I can answer, I will, obviously.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, but just letting them know that you're saying like that feeling of them knowing that you're available. Feeling
Mhm.
of them knowing that, yeah. No, I think that's very important.
And even
And
just
it's
knowing that you see them, like, it's like I see you.
yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
you don't have to be like when you're
That's
prying,
big.
you don't have to pry. Like, you don't have to, like, I don't know. It doesn't have to
Mhm.
be like, tell me all the answers or tell me
Yeah.
everything. It's just basically like, look, I'm here for you if you want to talk.
Yep. That's really good. That's really good. And amazing that you've gotten that level of vulnerability with your friends, you know. Because a lot of people don't. I think that's one of the, and I don't know whether it's because they just don't feel safe or if it's pride. Like sometimes it can be pride that, hey, I'm okay. I don't want anyone thinking I'm not, you
Mm.
know. Or if it's fear. It could perhaps be fear that they are afraid that someone will, I guess,
Judge
maybe
them, yeah.
judge them. Yeah, you
Less of
know.
them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think less of them. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
there's
know.
that aspect to it for sure. And it depends on, like, like it could also depend on, like, gender dynamics may take a place here. Like,
Mm,
my friends being mostly female,
yeah,
coming to talk to me as a female,
yeah.
or like I don't know, like the dynamics as a man might be different coming to a man or a woman coming to a man, or I don't know. Could all be play a factor.
And that's huge what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, and I think that's well, let me ask you this. Do you typically find yourself knowing when your friends or loved ones near you are going through that, are falling in that depressive hole, or do you find yourself typically knowing when?
I think sometimes it, it does depend on, how often I've seen them too. Like if we're
Yeah,
hanging out.
yeah,
Um, um, but I think for the most part, yeah, like my really good friends, I can kind of tell. Um, but not always,
yeah,
I won't,
mhm,
not always. Like sometimes people are very good at masking it.
yeah.
Um, so, um,
Wow. No, I get that. I get that for sure. And that's I asked that question. Um, I guess just because I think oftentimes we as humans can get absorbed in self.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? I know oftentimes I do that. I get
mm,
absorbed in myself to where I don't actually realize or recognize when someone else is crying out for help, or even if they're
mm,
not crying out for help per se, but it's just
yeah.
more that they need that extra layer of attention. They need that extra layer of care, of concern, you
Mm,
know? And I find myself lately having been more concerned with myself sometimes, where I'm like, man, you find out, but you end up finding out after you didn't selfishly absorbed a lot of your own attention,
Mm.
in self. And so that's why I kind of asked that question because I do realize, at least with me, oftentimes it can take me a minute to realize that another person needed that. And I'm like, man, this is so selfish of me to act this way, you know?
Yeah. And I think that there still has to be a balance though of like, like you can't
Mhm.
always be looking at other people like and
True.
trying them and help them with their problems.
Yeah.
Really? I mean, like you want to be there, like, and you should be there for friends and family and things
Hmm.
and help them and when you see something like be concerned and be genuinely concerned, but there is also like a balance of you also have to take care of yourself and your own needs too, because
Yeah.
without um sometimes having your needs like taken care of, it can be difficult to help someone else as well.
Yeah.
It is not
Facts.
you can't like help someone if you also need help, but like it's just finding a balance. But I think there also has to be grace for yourself, especially if they didn't communicate with you or weren't trying to communicate with you at the same time, like it's not completely on you either
That's
to
true.
um, you know, like I can't be mad at my friends if I am in a super depressed state and I'm
Yeah.
isolated in my house, keeping
Yeah.
myself isolated, not reaching out to people, not doing
Yeah.
that. And I can't get mad at my friends for not like noticing that.
Yeah.
Mhm. Like
No, facts.
like
Yeah.
I can't get mad at them because I didn't reach out.
You didn't reach out. Yeah.
That's why it was especially like when I first moved out here, especially after like my divorce and like there was a lot of stuff going on, a lot of things I was
Hmm.
that and like I had just reconnected with two of my friends from college.
Yeah.
Like it was so great. And I still connect with them. We still hang out. Um
Yeah.
Not quite as often as the first year that I was here, but I
Hmm.
definitely did that connection. And so I was really grateful that I learned in that time
Yeah.
to actually reach out. Like it was like I would force myself to be like, "Hey guys, I'm feeling really depressed right now. I don't feel like
Yeah.
leaving. I don't feel like doing stuff. I don't feel like
Hmm.
this is how I'm feeling." And then sometimes they would call me and like either invite me over or like just talk to me on the phone and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like because they both had like jobs and stuff
Yeah.
too. So, but it's like,
Yeah.
but if I didn't reach out to them, like it's not on them or even on my family. Like if I didn't reach out to my family, it's not on them to be like, you know, are you depressed today?
Hmm. Hmm.
Wanna hear- like some of that too is like you don't want to hear that question all the time when you are depressed. I
Yeah.
don't want somebody to just ask me, "Are you depressed today?"
Bro. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I
necessarily.
feel that.
It's like I don't really want to think about that. Like I don't want to think that moment. I mean, maybe that's just me, but and so that kind of questioning all the time can get overwhelming.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hmm.
at least that for me personally. Because then I'm just like, leave me alone, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Promise you I'm fine. Like I'm not
Hmm.
spiraling now. I'm learning how to reach out and tell you when I'm in a bad place. So if I tell you I'm in a bad place, I'll let you know. And I'll also let you know if it's like a really bad one where I need you to like be with me, or
Yeah.
if I can handle it. I'm just letting you know that I'm getting depressed or I've been depressed a little bit, but
Yeah.
I'm working through it and I'm fine. Like I'm actually good. It's just kind of a wave happened today.
Yeah. Yeah. And that kind of goes into another question or another thing I thought about while you were talking was like people who commit suicide and self-harm. And then you have people who either guilt trip themselves, with the level of like, man, I didn't see it coming. Man, but that person never really reached out also. That also is the case. It's like, yeah, this person didn't reach out. Um, but then you have people who may guilt trip themselves, or you may have other people who may point the blame at the people who didn't see it, right? It's like you didn't see.
Yeah.
So you think that that's wrong. You think that guilt tripping a person guilt tripping themselves for somebody that they didn't see the signs of, as well as people who point and blame them for not seeing the signs. You think that that's wrong?
I think that like um I don't want to say that it's like point blank wrong, but what I'm going to say is like when you look at that like I think there's always a room for contemplation and thinking about and learning from like what happened, like
Hmm.
what I see. Like
Yeah,
I think it's important to take that moment and say, were there signs? Like
yeah,
and look at that so that perhaps you can watch out for that in other people. You
yeah,
know, I think that it's important to be aware of
yeah.
what you might have missed.
Mm,
I think that um and there's going to be a level and a sense of grief and a sense of guilt perhaps,
yeah.
and that's normal and um could be warranted in some sense. Um
Hmm.
but also like you can't hold on to it either. Like
Yeah.
I'm not placing the full blame on the victim either or the person that committed suicide. Um
Hmm.
but like yes, they could have reached out and maybe they did in certain circumstances. And like
Yeah.
that's like you have to reflect on
Yeah.
the signs and like take that
Hmm.
reflection and then learn and grow from it. If you
Yeah.
grow from reflection, like then things are just going to continue.
Yeah.
Or like a certain like patterns could continue. Like you
Yeah.
have to grow from your reflection. Uh,
Mm, that's
and
good.
so, and I don't think like other people, like, who are the other people that are like blaming you for them committing suicide? What were they doing? You know, like
Yeah.
if you're going to be pointing the finger, you have to make sure that you're also not um part of the fault, you
Yeah.
know?
Hmm.
Because like, who are you to point the finger?
Yeah. That's good.
That's my thoughts on it, anyways.
That's good. That's really good. What would be, I know I've asked this before, but I'll ask it again because I think it's a very important question. What would be like some of the top signs you would say to watch out for that you tend to either experience yourself or have seen from others?
Or like suicide or depression.
Depression. I'm sorry, like falling into that depressive state or hole.
Okay. I think like some of like the biggest signs of that is like they're not doing things that they used to enjoy. Like they stopped doing things that they used to enjoy. Um they're isolating themselves from people um like more than usual.
Yeah.
Mm. Especially if they're an introvert. It can be harder to tell with introverts
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yep. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It
With
can.
that one.
It can. That's a really good tip. It can be hard to discover that with an introvert. That's actually so true. Oh,
Well, especially that one because you say, "What do you mean they isolate themselves all the time?" But that's not actually true because we
yeah.
do out, we do have our friends, we do like have our groups that
Yeah.
will do that stuff. Uh,
Yeah.
for you know. Um, but they like, yeah, they isolate themselves more than usual. They
Yep.
are, just I guess just seem uh it's not even sad all the time, but sometimes it is just like there's just maybe like a numbness or like they
Mm.
don't
I've seen that. That numbness,
it's
I've
like a
seen that.
numbness. I
Yeah.
don't like that's more depression. Like think of
Wow.
people think of depression as sadness. It's not.
Yeah. Yo, talk about it.
It's more of a numbness. It's like
Yeah.
care about what's happening.
What's
I
happening?
care about my like not necessarily well, some of it is like I don't care about my life. I don't really care about, this
Wow.
I thought was fun or this group that I thought was fun or this
I got a friend going through that right now. And she said that's the word she said.
yeah, it's just numbness. It's like
Wow.
literally nothing.
Wow.
That's the thing. Like
Yeah.
that feeling of depression is numbness.
Numb. It's not even sadness. You're right. It's not even crying. It's not even.
Oh, it's not that. It's not that. It's literally the lack of feeling almost.
Wow.
The
Dang, you
lack.
said that so perfect.
Well, I've been there.
Yeah, yeah. Now talk about it. That's perfect. Yeah, like you know that feeling. You know numbness. That is wow.
Empty.
That's
Like there's
what.
nothing. It's like an emptiness. It's like nothing can like fill it. It's like you just like meh.
Yeah,
You just meh is the
yeah.
meh is the perfect description.
The
Like that.
perfect description.
Like whatever.
Yeah. Wow.
Like
Oh,
I could just lay here. Oh, my house is dirty. Oh, that sucks.
yeah.
No.
Yeah. So those are probably also good indicators too. The clothing.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
laundry being done, them not caring about their appearance, especially if
Wow.
they care about it, or like if they
Yeah.
take care of themselves, and then they're not eating as much or eating more than
Mm,
sometimes it's not eating as much, sometimes it's eating way more than usual.
yeah.
Um, there's a lot of signs.
Wow. 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 You're making me see signs. That's actually crazy. This discussion is making me see signs with certain people. Mm. Eh. In closing, how should someone approach someone that's dealing with depression like this? They see the signs, they're noticing them, they're listening to this. What should be the first step or the initiation to
I guess the first step would be, I mean, especially like if you guys are friends, like,
mm,
you know, talk to them, maybe invite them to do something, see how
mm,
they respond to that, to
yeah,
your invitation, like, and then, um, just be like, hey, yeah, I mean, even just asking, hey, is everything okay? Or like, what's been on your mind lately?
mm,
Like, what's been on your mind lately? Like, do you wanna talk about it? I mean, honestly, just having an open-ended conversation,
wow,
really being like genuinely curious and concerned.
yeah,
Like, you know, um, if you guys are good friends, they'll respond to it
yeah,
typically. Um, I mean, yeah, that would be my recommendation.
yeah,
If it becomes like something that's like heavier than you can handle, a possibility is to mention therapy, not like
yeah,
I mean, especially if you've done it yourself too, just
yeah,
opening to it. Um, not that you has to, but if it's like something that's really deep, and something that's way over your head or over something that you can comprehend, like you can be there for them, but maybe there's deeper things that they need to get help with that you can't.
Yeah.
And so maybe opening that door, um, and helping them search even
Yeah.
for something, possibly.
Yeah, this is good. This is good. Wow. Well, I mean, this kind of like sums up like what I was kind of wanting to get at, but you gave me way more. And that was amazing because I think everything you said, everything that was discussed, everything that was asked was are questions, are things that people can take with them. You know, whether you're going through the depression or whether you're the person responding to it, you know. And I think both perspectives, both sides needs to be discussed and talked about because I think both play a crucial, both are equally as important. How you respond to someone coming to you about it is just as important as the person going through it,
Yeah.
you know, just as important.
Well, I think don't like I think some of it is true too, like don't try to be dismissive about it. Like
Mhm.
sometimes people, like I said, like people dismiss depression as, oh, you're just sad, you know?
Yeah,
Like like you might not understand it exactly, but I think like just listening and trying to
yeah,
be there, like you don't have to
mhm,
try to fix it necessarily. Even like if you don't understand it, you don't have it, like you don't have to, like it's not your job to try to fix it,
yeah,
but just being there is all you need. Like is
yeah,
all someone to be there.
yeah. Good. That's good. Well, I know we on 55,
Yeah.
so I know we have the interval, but yeah, this is dope. This is super dope. We'll definitely run into this I think topic again for sure. But thank you, Kay, because this is definitely something I wanted to give or at least have insight or give insight into for someone specifically. So thank you. Let's do it. All right, we segueing over what fitness is next, right?
I'll see you in
Let's
the.
do it. Fitness is next.
Mhm.
All right, let's do it.
All right, peace.
See you soon.
See you soon.
Bye.